All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I would say another something video, but this is one of the first Unrivaled videos. This is the winter 3-on-3 league where most of the WNBA plays in their off season. It was really good last year. I've talked about it in passing when talking about the CBA. I made a whole video about them going big for not this year, but the next year with some of the potential college players that are going to come into the WNBA and then thus be able to be in pro leagues next year. So that will be fun. But this year, last night, they announced all the rosters. It was a draft that was untelevised and unstreamed, but they did a draft and then they revealed the teams last night. There are also two new teams at the top, middle, top, bottom, the Hive and the Breeze, that are joining the league or the association or whatever you want to call it. The clubs, they call them clubs, yeah. These ball clubs. And I just want to run through the new stuff this season. We're going to talk about coaches. Obviously, we're going to talk about jerseys that are in front of you right now. We're going to talk about the teams. I'm going to give my unfiltered, real opinions about these teams because some of them I have some problems with. Um, but if you like what I've said, like the video. If you have an opinion, comment it down below. And if you just about, consider subscribing. So yeah, I do want to make it very clear. I will not be covering Unrivaled like game by game and like all that stuff. I want to sort of keep my focus on the NBA, but I did watch almost all the games of this last year, and I liked it more than I thought I would. I thought some of the teams were really cool. I thought a lot of the basketball was pretty good for being 3-on-3 and for sometimes being a little awkward. There's another year under these some of these players' belts, so they're more familiar with 3-on-3. Obviously, the only 3-on-3 experience you can really have is in FIBA, is in the Olympics. They do 3-on-3 in FIBA all the time in the Olympics. Some players in the WNBA have done that in their past. Some obviously haven't. Some have experience. Some don't. So I'll make sure that's known whenever I get the chance to talk about a player that has experience in that. But other than that, I want to jump right into it. I want to talk about the first four teams. Talk about their roster construction. Talk about their coach. Talk about their jersey and all that stuff. So the first team here I want to talk about, and I'll leave a link down below, probably for the Unrivaled socials or Unrivaled something, so you guys can get a better picture at these rosters. I was gonna put a picture up in front of you guys, but it was a little blurry, and I didn't think it would be something you guys wanted to look at. This is more colorful. You can look in the jerseys, and you can look up the rosters for yourself if you're that interested. But I will name them right here. Lastly, I'm doing a lot of rambling. I'm so sorry. We will get to the rosters. Um, there's doing something in my neighborhood and there's a loud noise. So if you hear it at all, or if there's a sudden pause, I'm trying to stop the recording or pause the recording so you guys don't have to hear it. But let's jump into it right now. First team, first team, and this is my unfiltered opinion. I'm gonna give you my real opinion because this is 3-on-3, and that means like so there's a lot more responsibility on each of these players, and there's a lot more responsibility on the coach to make this team good. And then maybe at the end we'll talk about my favorite teams. We'll see. We'll see. We'll talk through this and we'll talk about it. All right. First team, the Breeze, middle bottom of your screen. A new team to these clubs. Um, I watched this live, by the way. They did this live last night. I watched it. It was a little clunky. It was a little but to get to see the rosters live was cool. Jumping into it, the Breeze. Let's just run through all the players and then we'll talk about what I think as a whole. Paige Beckers, Cameron Brink, Rika Jackson, Kate Martin, Dominique Mongola, and Eri McDonald. I really like this team. New club as a whole. Love the jerseys also. The purple with the blue. The purple with the pink, I should say. Really good. I can't wait to see the other jerseys they have because they usually have like a colored one and then they have like a lighter one. I think usually did they do that? They might have not done that. I might have made that up in my head. If this is the only jersey, it's a good jersey. It's a good start. I like the font. It's simple. It's nice. Um, let's see. What do I think about this team as a whole? I think this team is really well constructed. I think having the option to go really big with Dominique Mongola and Cam Brink with a guard or going a guard, two guards, and Rika Jackson is amazing. I think a backcourt of Paige Beckers and Kate Martin is really good. Ari McDonald, I'm not sure how Ari McDonald fits into this. Probably when Paige is out of the game, you want Ari McDonald in. But overall, I really like this team. It's going to be interesting to see how Paige does in 3-on-3 because I don't think she has any 3-on-3 experience. I think she has FIBA experience, Olympic yeah, FIBA experience, but I don't think she has any 3-on-3 experience. I know Cam Brink for sure has 3-on-3 experience. She's a Olympic gold medalist, I believe, or a FIBA gold medalist in 3-on-3. She was on a team with Haley Van Lith and might have been with Kelsey Plum, and she was on a team with a bunch of people, a bunch of really good high level players. So Cam Brink is familiar with the 3-on-3. I don't think Kate Martin is. I don't think Dominique Mongola is. Rika Jackson isn't, and Ari McDonald isn't. But overall, as a whole, this is one of the better constructed teams. And sometimes you're gonna see it goes downhill at some point. You're like, okay, all right. Um, let's talk about their coach. Their coach will be Noelle Quinn, who was recently relieved of her duties as the Seattle Storm head coach, gets a chance in Unrivaled to coach again. I like Noelle Quinn a lot. I think what really comes down to the coaching in this league and in this association is just the rotations. You need to have the right moments to sub people in, some sub people out. Um, it's not so much the basketball plays, unless it's like a last minute out of timeout play. You just have to let these players figure it out and let them ball out. And when you have a player like Ari McDonald, Paige Beckers, who are lead guards, when you have um, willing bigs that will either pop or dive to the basket, and Dominique and Cam Brink, and then you obviously have a shooter and a somewhat ball handler in Kate Martin, and then you have Rika Jackson, who's a do-it-all, switchable. I've used the word like gadget so many times this week, and I feel like I'm overusing. But she's a gadget player. She just is everything, and she's really good. Um, this is a really good team. Let's mark this one down. Breeze. Actually, here I am gonna write it down here. I have a sticky notes. Let me write it down here. Give me one moment. All right, we have the Breeze written down for the teams I like. For one of the teams I like. Next one, a returning club. One of the, I guess you'd call them the founding clubs. Yeah, one of the founding clubs. One of the first clubs. The Laces. Where are they on your screen? Bottom right, in the turquoise sort of jerseys, with the salmon pink outlines. Um, we're not gonna rate the jerseys. I'm just gonna talk about them. I like this jersey a lot. I liked it last year. I wish there was a little more salmon pink since there isn't a lot of pink on these other teams, especially like a light pink. The Breeze have more like a vibrant purplish, sort of like almost Prince purplish pink, but laces are okay. Um, let's talk about this team, man. um, I don't love this team. Um, this is the first team that, well, obviously because they were a team last year, that I have to explain this. So last year, this year, there was a bunch of stipulations about drafting and keeping players. If you kept two of your players from last year, you forego whatever the past term of forego is. You forwent, I don't know, um, a pick or two in the draft. So you would have to wait a round or two. So the Laces protected Jackie Young and Alyssa Thomas from last year's roster. I'm a big Jackie Young fan, WNBA champion this year. Go Aces. Um, I'm not the biggest Alyssa Thomas fan, but in 3-on-3, Alyssa Thomas might be really good. She wasn't great last year, but she was good enough last year. And the team consists of some other players because you need, what is this, six. You need six. So we got four more for you here. New players to the Laces, 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 not Aces, Laces. Um, Brittany Sykes, I like Brittany Sykes a lot, especially defensively. Point of attack defender. Um, Jordan Canada, who not the biggest fan of, but is a bucket sometimes. Maddie Sigrist, who I like Maddie Sigrist a lot. I don't think she played in. Did she play in Unraveled last year? I'm trying to remember. I don't think she did. This might be her first year. I like Maddie Sigrist a lot in 5-on-5. I don't know about 3-on-3. And then Naz Hamlin, Hamlin. They said it differently last night. I can't get it out of my head. Um, I believe most improved was she? No, she was sixth woman of the year. She won some type of award in the WNBA. Yeah, I don't feel confident about this team, but just looking at if you play Jackie, Brittany, and Alyssa, that's a good 3-on-3 team. That's a team that can defend. I want to say every position. Defend one-on-one, player to player. Jackie defends the lead guard, Brittany defends the secondary guard or the small forward or whatever the case may be, and then Alyssa Thomas gets the center responsibilities guarding the center. Um, I don't know about, oh man, I don't know about Jordan Canada's defense is streaky, and then Maddie Sigrist isn't the best defender, but she's at least a good help defender. But the thing is, in 3-on-3, you need to be more. There's less help, and there's more individual left on an island sort of defense. So I'm not sure if Maddie is going to be good. And then Naz Hamlin, eh, I, I, the playoffs and the Atlanta Dream that the team she plays for in the WNBA left a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but who knows? Maybe be good. Maybe be good. The head coach for the Laces, where are you? Laces, Andrew Wade. I'm not familiar with Andrew Wade. Um, Bald head. Um, Looks like a nice guy. And the thing is, when you have like players like Brittany Sykes and Alyssa Thomas, I don't want to say a coach isn't necessary, but the coach is sort of a mute point. Like I said, the rotations is the only thing the coach needs to worry about. Just let these players go out and play and figure it out. Um, I will not mark the Laces down as one of my more favorite teams. We'll put it that way. Moving on here, the next team. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, okay. Next team, the Mist. Top left of your screen in the dark blue and light blue jerseys. I really like these jerseys. I wish they stuck with the light blue like they had last year. I really like the baby blue, like the sky blue, but the navy blue is okay. They also protected one player. They only protected one player. The Mist did. Protected a co-founder of Unrivaled, Brianna Stewart, um, returning to the Mist, the only player to return to the Mist. And then they have a bunch of new players. And this team might be the most interesting team to me. Maybe not the best, but the most interesting. I'll be interesting to watch them. I'll be monitoring the situation, as I like to say. First up is Alicia Gray, really good shooter. Again, another Atlanta Dream player. A lot of those Atlanta Dream players left some bad taste in my mouth, so maybe not. She did good last year. In She played Unrivaled last year, right? Yeah, I feel like I saw her. Yeah, she definitely played last year. Excuse me. Um, Alicia Gray, shout out Alicia Gray. Defensive Player of the Year, Elena Smith, Veronica Burton, Arike Gumbawale, and then Lee Yaru. Man, oh man, this team, this team has, what is it, like 3 buckets? 3 buckets, Alicia Gray, Brianna Stewart, Arike. Defensively, if you run those 3 out, I might be a little concerned. But that's why you get Alana Smith. That's why you get Veronica Burton. Lee Yaru isn't a great defensive big, but if she's just gonna stand there and suck up the paint and just stand there with her hands up, I think that's good enough. Um, Looking at now that we've gone through a couple teams, looking at some of the matchups they might have to go against. Um, I like. I think, is Alana Smith the best defender of the last couple teams we've talked about? I think she might be. Yeah. So you have one of the best offense, two of the best offensive players in Enrique and Brianna, and then you have the best defensive player so far in Alana Smith. Um, I really like this team. Um, I like them enough to be interested, and that's really all you need is to like just be interesting. Don't be bad, just be interesting. Um, yeah. Their coach. Let's talk about their coach. Who's their coach? Zach O'Brien. Don't know Zach. He looks familiar though. He might have coached last year. um, again, man, it's just about the rotations. And Zach here has some really good players to swap in and out, different combinations to run. You could run Alicia Gray, Brianna Stewart, Alana Smith. You could run Enrique, Stewie, Lee Rue. You could run Alicia Gray, Alana Smith, Lee Rue. You could run Enrique, um, Veronica Byrne, Alana Smith. There's so many combinations that Zach is going to have to work with here, and that's a good thing. So yeah, moving on to the next team, the reigning champs from last year. The reigning champs from last year, the Rose. Um, that always sounds weird to say the Rose. The Roses, Rose, the Rose, Roses, Rose. Roses, the Rosies. What would you call them? The Roses. The Roses protected two players from their championship team last year. That would be NBA champion Chelsea Gray and NBA champion Kalia Copper. Both met each other in the WNBA finals this past season, so that's an interesting wrinkle right there. Played a lot of basketball this year. Interesting for both of them. They are middle right of your screen, the Rose, obviously the green jerseys. When I think Rose, I don't think green. I don't think anybody thinks green. But the green and the rose gold, I like it a lot. I like it a lot, especially with the O being an actual rose. You get points for that from me. Points and the little graphic down the side of the jersey with like the vines and stuff. Oh, beautiful. Um, this is another team I'm vaguely concerned about, or I'm not. This is the first team I'm concerned about. I shouldn't even say I'm vaguely concerned. Um, it's an interesting makeup of a team, considering you protect two guards and you only get one real big. Um, the following players are as followed: Azare Stevens, Sutton, pardon me, Lexi Hall, and Shakira Austin. Um, oh, and Lexi Hall was on this team last year, but they didn't protect her. They just fell to her again. She fell to them again in the draft. So welcome back, Lexi Hall. Right? Yeah, she played for them last year. Yeah. My main concern is that Azare is your only big on this team. I know there's like talk of like, or there has been even in the broadcast that they did of this, that Shakira Austin can play some big. You're telling me Shakira Austin's gonna guard Dominique or Cam Brink or Alyssa Thomas, or like Alana Smith or Lee Root? Is that what you're trying to convince me of? Because let me tell you right now, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not. I'm not. You're gonna run into some trouble if Azare gets into some foul trouble. You're gonna run into some big problems. Otherwise, if you try to run it small, or you're obviously gonna have to run Stevenson out there. You have the combination of Clea Copper, Lexi Hall, Azare. You have Chelsea Gray, Lexi Hall, Azare. You have obviously Chelsea, Kalia, Stevenson. Um, I'm sort of concerned that they do not have the depth, and depth is super important, especially when you play 3-on-3, and you only have a couple players to work with off the bench. Um, but the bright side that Noel, Nola, Henry, Henry, Enray, Enray, I don't know, is the head coach of the Rose. And I was not familiar with her work last year. Sorry for that interruption. Again, Coach Henry for the Rose. I was not familiar with her work last year. I really liked what she did, though. I really liked what she did, and I'm happy she's back coaching in Unrivaled, and I hope the Rose do well. And I did mark down that I picked one of the Rose as my one of the teams I like. I went back and I put it on the note here. So Moving on here. Actually, take a break. Little intermission right here. Um, First four teams, then we get to the last four teams. I do want to talk about the opening slate for Unrivaled here on January 5th. Uh, Vinyl will play the Hive. They don't have the times, but I believe it's in this order. So the Vinyl will play the Hive. The Mist will play the Laces. The Lunar Owls will play the Rose, and the Phantom will play the Breeze. That's a four-game slate. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. Wow. And that's on TNT slash True TV slash HBO Max if you want to watch it on January 5th. January 5th, not January 6th. If you know, you know. Okay. Back to the rosters and the coaches. Yeah. So the next expansion team is the Hive. The Hive, obviously yellow. They did not go for the typical yellow and black like you would when you think of the Hive. They went with a yellow and a grayish color, which I like. You don't see a lot of gray jerseys, and considering they already have a lot of black jerseys, they have one, two, three black jerseys already. I like, I like it. Um, I like their jerseys. I'm not the biggest fan of their roster, however. There are a couple players here that I really like. This is an expansion team, so no protections on this team. All new players, all new team. I like Kelsey Mitchell a lot. I like Sonia Citron a lot. And I like Sanaya Rivers a lot. And that's about where it ends of the players I like on this team. This team also includes Az Megbor. I don't know how to say that. Natisha Heidemann and Monique Billings. I like Monique a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan, but she's okay. Natisha Heidemann, man oh man, can she not play defense sometimes? And then a Z here, I don't know too much about a Z, AZ, um, but yeah. For the rest of this team, you only have what, like one real two bigs, and neither of them are great offensively, like super good offensively comparative to other teams and what they have. You got two really small guards. You got Mitchell. You got Citron. Um, Sanaya Rivers is your only real point of attack defender, and Natisha Hyman's a small guard too. I'm not sold on this team. I think it's going to be great for development. I think it's going to be good development for Sonia and Sanaya, but outside of that, this team doesn't get me excited. Moving on to the Hives coach, Renee Wakama. Yeah, I don't, I'm not familiar with her. Looks like a nice lady. She's gonna have work cut out for her. Send her thoughts and prayers for this season. Um, Moving on, a team that I've been looking at here because I have the whole picture up. Um, that vaguely is another team that interests me. Maybe not as much as the Mist, but another co-founder is on this team. Nafisa Collier was protected by this team. She returns to this team from last year. And then they also protected Skylar Diggins, who was on this team last year. And she had some big moments for this ball club last year. Um, they added Marina Mabry. They added Rachel Banaham. They added Rebecca Allen. And they added Aaliyah Edwards. Where do I start here? Uh, Rachel Banham's okay. She might do better in 3-on-3 than she is in the WNBA. And Rebecca Allen's just Uh, okay. I like Marina Mabry a lot. Brings some good defensive pressure, brings some good offensive stuff as well. Aaliyah Edwards is also here. I'm a big fan of Aaliyah Edwards. Um, really gonna have a lot on her shoulders this season in Unrivaled. I mean, there's gonna be a time where you can go out there and you can run all big. You can run Marina Mabry, Nafisa Collier, Aaliyah Edwards. You can run Skylar, Nafisa, Lee Edwards. You can run Skylar, Marina, Nafisa Collier. Notice how I did not include the other two players. Um, yeah, they're interesting enough with four players. The other two players, I have to see it to believe it. I have to see if Skylar can bring something out of these other two players, if the Fisa Collier can drag some attention away from the rest of the players on the floor to give Rachel or Rebecca a wide open shot, or even if Alyssa Edwards can do that as well. Um, I like them. I don't love them. Um, their jerseys here, left side of your screen, middle left. Um, the Lunar Owls. I love the gold. I love the black with the hints of purple. I wish it was a full purple jersey, but considering that the Breeze already have taken the purple, I understand why they didn't do it. But I would have liked to see it either way, or maybe do gold accents in the purple letters. Maybe that would be too much, or maybe purple letters with the gold outline on the lettering and gold accents on the sleeves and all that. I think that would be cool. Um, Talk about the coach, DJ Sackman. Unfamiliar with DJ, but when you have this much talent, again, you only need to worry about the rotations. And when you have Skylar, when you have Nafisa, those are leaders already. So you got a pretty easy job, DJ. Great job. The next team. This might be my team for next year, or for this year. This might be my team this year. Um, Phantom Basketball Club. Man, oh man. Phantom. Uh, Top right of your screen. They were white and black last year. I am going to miss the white and black. The green makes it look like a Timberwolves jersey or a Lynx jersey. I do not like it. I do not like the green. You could have gone any other color. You could have gone like spooky blue, like ultra blue or something. The green is just so tacky. It looks so boring. I would rather be black and white and keep it simple than this ugly green all over the jersey. It looks like you got boogers on it. Um, oh, what's that thing from Ghost? It looks like you have Slimer all over it. It looks disgusting. New Jersey might look bad, but the team, man, oh man, they only saved one player from their team last year, Satu Sabali. Um, the rest of these players are new, and man, oh man, do I love this team. They have some of my favorite players. Some of my favorite players, starting with Kelsey Plum, former ace. Love Kelsey Plum to death. Uh, Watched her come out of Washington. Watched her when she was a star. All time Kelsey Plum fan here. Aaliyah Boston, one of my favorite bigs in the league, on a new club and Unrivaled this year, getting to play with Kelsey Plum, getting to play along Satu. Um, really good. Dana Evans, also an ace, WNBA champ. Natasha Cloud, WNBA champ from 2 years ago, or a year ago now, right? Yeah, with the Liberty. And then Kiki Ariafin, who I also really like. And I think having a front court that you could have Kiki and Aaliyah Boston and a guard, whether that be Kelsey or Cloud. If you want to go really crazy, it can be Cloud, Satu, uh, Aaliyah Boston. It could be Cloud, Satu, Ariafin. It could be Cloud and Plum and Satu, Cloud and Plum and Boston, Cloud and Plum and Kiki. The possibilities are truly endless, and that's why this is one of my favorite teams. This might be my favorite team this year. Let me write them down real quick here. Okay, got them on the list. Um, let's look at their coach here. Who's their coach? Renike? Renike Hodges. I think she coached last year. She looks familiar. Um, Probably has one of the easiest jobs this year. Probably next to DJ, one of the easiest jobs. You have so much talent. You can just run whatever you want out there, and it probably will work. You have the size, you have the speed, you have the shooting, you have the aggressiveness from Satu and Cloud, and then you have Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Plum. I really like this team. I might need to get some drip, some apparel for this ball club. I really like this club. Um, and then lastly, here finishing up with the last team, the vinyl. Bottom left of your screen, the wine red with like. Did they get rid of the blue? Let me see. I don't think they got rid of the blue. No, they got the blue around the lettering, with the ultra like light blue around the lettering, um, with the record sort of uh, demarcators on the right and left of the number. Um, They only protected one player from last year, Renee Howard. I always say Renee. It's Ryan. Ryan Howard. Excuse me. Pardon me. Um, this is one of these teams that I looked at when they were drafting. I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. Oh, this looks bad. um, let's talk about the players. They protected Ryan Howard. They got Courtney Williams. They got Jerika Hamby. They got Erica Wheeler. They got Ray Burrell. Um, and they have Brittany Griner. This is going to be a really good team defensively. Offensively is where I get a little concerned because Courtney Williams is known to have bad games. Ryan Howard's known to have bad games. Is it going to be mitigated by the defense? Maybe, but I don't necessarily trust anybody else to make a basket. Brittany Griner did not have a good year last year in Unrivaled. She had a pretty okay year by her standards. I mean, she's like 30 something years old. She passed her prime. You would think 3-on-3 would be better for her, but it was actually kind of bad because there was no help. It was just her on an island. Sometimes she would get switched onto the guard and she would get a shot put like right between her eyes. Wasn't great. Erica Wheeler, good defensively. Derica Hamby, good defensively. Former ace. Ray Burrell, still interesting enough defensively. Probably more offensive at this point. But I don't know how many minutes she's gonna get, considering that she has to fight for minutes with Derica, with Brittany Griner. At some point, they are gonna go small and they are gonna run probably Hamby at the 5, and then it's probably gonna be Ryan Howard and Wheeler, or Williams and Wheeler, or Howard and Williams, some combination of that. I don't like this team, especially compared to the other ones. So, um, yeah, let's talk about their coach. They probably have one of the better coaches. Um, Teresa Witherspoon, WNBA legend, former WNBA coach, let go by the Chicago Sky a year ago. Um, had a really good unrivaled season. I believe she was the coach of the. No, was she the coach of the Rose last year? I don't think she. I think she was the final coach. Though. Yeah, same coach. Um, I wish they would have the years next to their name, but they do not on here, unfortunately. Um, I think Teresa Witherspoon is gonna coach these girls, coach these women, and make them have a good season. I think Vine will be in it. I don't think they're as bad as some of these other teams, but couple bad games here or there might not be able to make a uh, playoff appearance, I guess. All right, so let's go through my 3 teams that I really like here. I have them written down on a sticky note. My 3 teams that I really like. Um, I like the Breeze a lot. I like the Mist. I like the Phantom as my favorite teams this year. Um, and probably the best team in my opinion. Where where do these other teams stack up against these teams? I think there's a lot of parity, which is I think why they did the draft in the first place, to create more parity, but also there's some real like competitors last year, because at some point like there were some games where they were like, okay, the game's basically over. I don't think there's going to be a night off this year. I think a lot of these teams are really interesting enough and they can run some interesting stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what the coaches do, um, and that kind of stuff. Um, for the young players, it's a chance to develop a bit more. I mean, you have players like Dominique Mongola, who needs to develop. Cam Brink, who still needs to develop a little bit more after missing a whole WNBA season last year, essentially. Um, you have players like, let's see who else is here. Lee Yaru, who I'm a big fan of. I like Lee Yaru a lot. Um, let's see. Sonia Citron, Sanaya Rivers, um, Aaliyah Edwards, Kiki Area Finn. Um, yeah, there's a lot of development chances, which is good. So yeah, these are my 3 favorite teams, the 3 best teams in my opinion: Breeze, Mist, Phantom. Um, yeah, and we'll see what happens. I am going to scroll their Instagram, see if there's any other news. I've already talked about the 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 games that are coming up on the January 5th. And yeah, I think I think that's it. Yeah, there's no other news. That will be it. Um, Unrivaled coming soon in the winter next year, 2026, yeah, January 2026. So we'll cover it a little bit. I don't know how much I'm going to cover it. We'll see. The NBA does seem to get down at that time a little bit, so maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more. But I'll be watching nonetheless. I enjoyed this last year. Like the mini leagues that have come into the American audience has been really good. TGL for golf, Unrivaled for the Unrivaled for basketball. I like all kinds of sports. I just like a competitive atmosphere, and this is one of the better ones. And I get to see my favorite players more. Like I said, like the Phantom have like three of my favorite players. So yeah, um, that's it. I'm rambling. I'm so sorry. Let's get out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my other women's basketball content. Check out my NBA content, uh, and all that good stuff. And if you're not gonna say like the video, and I will see you all next time. Cheers.